Peace, peace. One of her family. I was so confused. I was like, oh my god, is this a new live or is this carrying on? Sorry. That was awkward starting in that way because I was genuinely confused. Like, I know I just set up a whole new live. So we're gonna do a full moon release reading. This is about, releasing what no longer serves you so that the petals may bloom when winter passes. Okay, so right now we're in the season of introspection, hibernation, reflection, and contemplation, like really coming to closure and endings with what our last cycle of life has put us through. Whether that cycle been 5 years, 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, however long that cycle was for you, 5 months, 6 months, who you had to adapt into becoming in order to make it through those life situations and scenarios. You may have not always had the time or space to let that catch up with you and for you to really grow into who you have become from those experiences. So when the winter comes around, it's like a time for you to really be still and to have less required from you in life, as far as demands, obligations, activities, events. Like everything naturally slows down in the winter season in order for us to all have a time to contemplate, reflect, and take from our life experiences the seeds of wisdom and valuable insight that we need to go forward and really create at a better frequency, at a higher frequency. Okay, so easier said than done having grace with yourself during these times because it just feels like the pressure of society still sits on us to perform, to get ready, to get up, to keep going, to just be on autopilot all the time. So if you are privileged enough to have some time to be to yourself or get sick or something happens where now you just have nothing but yourself and feelings and life experiences to sit with, like understand that that is for you to grow into who you are supposed to become at this time, because there are things that we can't take forward with us, or those versions of ourselves will hurt who we are becoming and what we're meant to come into. So it's like it's time now to look at what is hurting us or has been hurting us or hasn't really been in full alignment with our full potential, because now that we are moving into a new cycle of life, preparing for a new cycle. Spring is coming, summer is going to be here, and we're going to be having new goals, new intentions, new desires. Like we've been given new opportunities already presented to us, new roles, new positions, new responsibilities. You get what I'm saying? So that room that we're to grow into is really requiring us to grow out of a lot that is just not useful anymore. All that's useful from it is the wisdom, the experience, the knowledge, the I know I won't do this, or I know like this affects me or others around me if I do that. Like now we can take the insight with us, the wisdom. That's all we're supposed to take so that we can use it to cultivate more joy, more peace, and more abundance inevitably. Because, the more you grow into, the more you learn, the more you have access to new life experiences or just more out of life that when you only knew 2 + 2 = 4, like you didn't know that it was possible to make millions of dollars. $4 was like $1,000,000 to you when you just learned 4 + 4 or 2 + 2 = 4. Like, wow, that's a lot, like. But when you learn more, you realize, wow, there's more to acquire, there's more to gain, there's more to become, and more to experience. So, yeah, let that be your lead guiding force, opening your heart and being open to this good luck, this good fortune, this positive change just that you're making that's coming from a nurturing disposition. So Spirit is saying under this full moon, like I'm really wanting you to look at how you mother or father yourself, whichever you resonate with more, man or woman, whichever you receive your nurturing energy more from, because you can be a girl and your father figure or just a masculine energy can be more like beneficial to you as far as when it comes to teaching you about yourself and how to care for yourself. It doesn't have to be one way, but bottom line is, I just don't know why I feel like my camera screen is just low, like brighten me up. Maybe I'm just got dark colors going on. anyways, Spirit is saying tap into your nurturing qualities. Right now, if you have been left to be to yourself, or left to start an idea, or recovering, or just whatever space you're in, look at the ways that you can nurture and show up for yourself. Like, show yourself that you matter, show yourself that you're important, give yourself what you need. Who cares about if you have enough of this or enough of that, or if this person's going to benefit from that, or just give yourself what you need, give yourself what you want. Say yes to yourself, okay? Because this staying stuck in this energy of like, I don't have enough for myself, or that I don't, that there's not going to be enough left for me, or that everybody comes before me and I get what's left over. Like, Spirit is showing me in my mind's eye that this is a very unhealthy cycle that is being closed out, because nurturing yourself first is what's going to take you further and make you a better person for those around you. You cannot nurture, and you know what? Take it from a mom, because I had to learn this in my motherhood journey. Like, as much as I want to give to my daughter, like, I know when I'm cranky and irritable and I'm snappy, that's because I'm not giving enough to myself. I know that's because I have not taken the right measures to make sure that my needs are met. So when she needs something from me, or I have to get up and do my responsibilities for her, and I'm not in a position of feeling like I've done it for myself, like, I'm going to feel some type of way. I'm going to have an attitude, or something's going to be wrong in my energy, because I'm not giving myself enough. So I'm trying to pour from a cup that seems like not even full, or just barely anything in there. So that's not fair to the people around us. But most of all, it's not fair to ourselves, because, like, for us to live out our purposes, to do what we love, to do what matters to us, Queen of Cups, to be there for those that matter to us, to nurture our dreams, our goals, to become better, healthier, wiser, financially stable versions of ourselves, we have to embrace the quality of nurturing. So, nurturing with forgiveness, with kindness, with grace to start over, to try something again, to try a different way. Just like an encouraging voice in your head, not a critical, because Kiana, we're going to talk about this. Because Spirit's telling me to use myself for an example, because I do have posts on my Water for Instagram that go way back to 2017, where one of my first parts of my healing journey was the song's funny, talking about damage to yourself, right? But I learned to be self-damaging through the way that I speak to myself. Like, I first started in my healing journey with correcting a very pessimistic voice in my mind. Like, not to say that pessimistic voice does not try to come back up. It does. But the extreme, like, it was so bad that I wanted to unalive myself, and I did not see nothing valuable about my existence. Like, I was like, dude, why am I even, like, I just literally hated myself, to say the least. But this is because I learned to talk to myself a certain way. Like, if I made a mistake, I had very heavy ridicule or criticism, even if my family and close friends meant to be that way or not. The way that I felt about their criticism, feedback, whatever, was heavy to me, where I didn't fully understand, like, do you mean to say this in a way that is to hurt me? Or are you meaning to say this in a way to inspire and uplift me? Whatever way you meant, it didn't work. It hurt my feelings. So now I'm like, I don't want to even be this. So as children, we're like, I don't even want to show this part of myself no more. I don't want to embrace this interest or hobby or passion. I don't want to do this because the type of feedback it gets from people, and the way that they talk about me, the way that they criticize me, and trying to learn something new, or be myself, or explore myself in this way. So Spirit is really bringing up that. And that's probably really real, because that was like literally my first thing in my healing journey that I consciously remember being like, I'm going to fight life forever if I don't figure out how to have a healthier inner dialogue. Whether life is beating me up or not, like, I'm going to be the one beating myself up if I don't learn how to correct my inner dialogue. And that's when I had to pick and choose what matters to me, like who matters to me, whose opinion, like how do I feel about my decisions. Can I go to bed with my decisions, and am I okay? Do I think I'm a bad person, you know? And sometimes, like it's very easy to be critical of other people, very easy, because we always compare people to ourselves, and like that's a wound. It's not the way that we want to be with the people we love. Of course we want the best for those that we love, but at times like that inner critic, like even if you mean well, delivery, all of that, like none of us are perfect, because I'm like, damn, this is uncomfortable to talk about, because I'm like, like it's true, people may realize and see things about ourselves that we're not fully aware of, and that we don't want to we don't want to be the one to burst somebody's bubble. But when we love people and their decisions are affecting us, we just think, like, man, you are so, like, you're way more amazing than this. Confronting somebody or telling somebody about themselves is not always the easiest thing to do when we want better for them. And how we convey that to them, and when we choose to convey that to them, like, that can even be destructive in itself. So I don't know. It's very hard to give feedback to people, especially when they didn't ask for it. So it's just difficult to always, give that type of nurturing to people, because people do need it. People do need friends and people that really love them and have their best interests at heart to be like, hey, like, you're doing this, and I don't really think this is representing you at your best, or I see you, getting into hanging out with these type of people, and I just don't think these people are going to be there for you if something happens. Like, like we need to get in the habit of speaking up and sharing with people that we love, like when they're doing something wrong or right, because either you're contributing to the problem or you're helping break the cycle. And hopefully, moving forward, we want those people around us that help us break cycles instead of keeping cycles going, especially cycles that can prove to be destructive for us, destructive for our families, and just overall our future, future. So, like, we need that honesty from each other. Like, this is not right. But we have to learn how to be nurturing and loving and patient about how we share that insight with people, especially ourselves. So that's why I start with self, because, like, if you learn to be this way with yourself, to be very hard on yourself about your mistakes and life experiences that you've had and what you've gone through and what you've had to learn in ugly ways at times, like, then you're not going to be able to be as understanding with others as you may want to be. Okay. So breaking the cycle of being hard on yourself, critical of yourself, and understanding that you're human, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to have flaws. And in my last video, if you check that out, while I was doing my makeup or whatever, being random, I've shared a quote saying, like, a mistake that's done once is a decision. A mistake done twice is a habit. A mistake done 3 times is something wrong with your character. So mistakes, like, as long as you can check yourself, correct yourself, and stop a mistake before it becomes a habit, before it becomes a part of your character, then say, don't worry. But if something has become a part of your character, that's where we might take things a little bit more personal. And this is where loving and nurturing yourself, to correct yourself, to change your narrative, to change your thoughts, to change your behavior, is going to come into effect. That way you can attract people who are also going to help you in that process of uplifting you. I don't know, these 2 cards have just a lot to say, because this is all about, like, moving into an energy of, like, self-love, self-nurturing, making this a standard in your relationships. Like, if before, Spirit is showing me, like, groups. So if before you were in this isolation, like, to myself bubble, and the only self awareness you had was looking at yourself in the mirror, just being your own judge. Now it's like you're about to be challenged. I'm taking this personal. Now you're about to be challenged with relationships, or a particular relationship, a significant one. It doesn't have to be multiple, but it can be relationships in the sense of your family getting closer to you, you integrating a new romantic partnership, or just something that is more reflective for you. Where, like, yes, we can see so much of ourselves by ourselves, but we still have blind spots by ourselves. Like when we look in the mirror, you can't see your nose. When you look in the mirror, you may be aware that your chest is there, but you can't see your chest. So it's like we can look at different parts of ourselves, but we don't always see the whole. And so when we get into our partnerships, our relationships, that start showing us more about ourselves, how we handle stress, how we handle people's mistakes or flaws, or just our own shortcomings in life, that's when we begin to learn more about ourselves and areas that we need to work on. That don't just we can't just brush under the rug because it doesn't matter, like if it affects us. Like we do things to ourselves all the time that are probably not fair, but when it's affecting other people, or it's you know being brought up to you, to your face, like, hey, this is a problem, or this is not going to work, or this is affecting us, then yeah, now it's like, well, I have to change, or I have to learn from this. So yeah, Spirit's saying, like, this is just a time to really, like, in order to make positive changes, it's just a time to get in the habit, or start making decisions now to love yourself. Love yourself when you don't feel like you're worth loving. Love yourself when you feel like you don't have a purpose, or you forgot what your purpose is. Love yourself, like, choose now to pick yourself up and make yourself look better, feel better, smell better, do better, whatever better you can do it. Even if it's just speaking your mind, you know, sharing how you feel with somebody, just whatever you can do it, because any amount of self-love is going to go far, and you loving yourself is definitely going to show people more about how, it's going to teach them love. So you got to remember, like, the people that we're dealing with, nobody knows love 100%. These people learn love from us. Sometimes we are sent into people's lives to teach them love in a way that they've never experienced, that they've never had, that they've never seen, that they are like, wow, this is so new. And this could be very well you receiving a love where it's like, wow, I've never received this. So understand, things that you've never had, things that happen so effortlessly and easy, are easy to take for granted. The spirit's like, these things are coming to you because the next two cards are showing me healing from a cycle of lack, of poverty consciousness, of never having enough, feeling like your needs weren't being met, feeling left out in the cold, feeling, just unappreciated, unacknowledged, unheard, unseen, just feeling very you had to settle for less to get by. And now it's like you're coming into an era where it's like you're prioritizing restoration. That's the word I see. Rejuvenation, restoration, replenishing your cup, refueling yourself, coming back into your star power, coming back into yourself. Coming back into the state of yourself that is like a healer. Healing yourself. Like that's what this. What is this video about? What did I say this video was about? Oh, full moon. Like, what are we releasing? So I'm like, goddamn, this is a lot. Okay, this song. Girl, why can't you wait? Okay, sounds like a breakup song. So for some of you guys, you could have gone through a breakup or something where it brought up a lot of things for you to reflect on about yourself. Because this song, I'm like, I can't relate, but I just feel like the feeling from this song is very heartbroken, very and this is obviously somebody who has to recover from something. So this could be recovering from an illness, a cycle of like health issues, but it can also be about recovering from really like breakups, because obviously somebody was left. Ten of Pentacles is when you're in a solid connection. Five of Pentacles, somebody that got left. So this could be reflective of like, this could be a time where you are being called to go deeper into a heartbreak. Ooh. So some of these things that you've been experiencing or that have been coming up for you, these recent triggers or the triggers that are about to take place now until I'm hearing for the next month, just 3 to 4 weeks, experiencing triggers that really bring up like past, a specific past relationship. It could even have been a relationship to a parent, because this is about the inner child and like behaviors that it learned. But understand that as children, when we learn behaviors from our parents, these are things that we usually do pick up and repeat in our relationships to people, usually our very significant romantic relationships. So you could be like at this time guided to look at some of those past relationships or just versions of yourself from that era of your. That's so weird, Spirit. You're being really weird, because I'm like making jokes about today. I'm straightening my hair like I'm fucking back in 10 years ago, and that was for me that like the cycle that I can like say, okay, if this is about a particular cycle, 10 years ago I did start a cycle in my life that I feel like I'm finally coming out of. Like I've been coming out of it, but like I can say I done got my left foot and my right foot out of the hole. And now I'm on my knees trying to crawl and find a new way into my new life. Okay. So I was making jokes like today I was straightening my hair, but those are all jokes. But to what this message is saying, like whatever this cycle has been for however long it's been, where it's been teaching you lessons about self-love, self-worth, self-respect, how to relate to yourself in a healthier way. I just called 2222 on the clock. So learning and unlearning, learning and unlearning, learning and unlearning, like having a cycle of really decolonizing yourself for some of you. However you want me to put it, but you went through a process of like having to redefine what it means to value yourself, love yourself, who you are, who you want to be, what you want out of life, and just changing all that shit up. Because it's like what you were given, what you were taught, what you watched growing up, all these things that didn't work out, you're choosing now at this point in time, that's not going to be your fate. That's not your destiny. That's not what you came here to fulfill. Those people fulfill their purposes, but you have yet to discover what yours is. And you may have lost yourself on the way, and you may have tried things and got into different things to see, are you who you really are? But I feel like now you know more than ever that you are who you really are. And so now it's time to show up. 23, 23. So 5 is significant for this group of people I'm speaking to, where it's like these changes are not really changes. It's just you being who you've always been without any type of fucking like questioning about who you were, what you've done, whoever you used to be. Like you don't care. It's just now it's like an urgency here, but it's an excitement urgency where it's like who I've always been. That is what this next level of my life is requiring me to be. Which, in contrary, should be easier to just be yourself than to be what society and people and trauma and life experiences try to make you. Like it takes more energy to hold back from who you really are than it takes to just be, So that's spirit. That's what spirit is wanting you to heal and recover from. Is this constant effort and action to be someone you're not, and to actually fall into loving and enjoying who you've always been. That part of yourself that's always been pure, that's been untainted, no matter how far 444 I saw, like, no matter how far you seem to have gotten away from yourself or got lost in other people's webs of life, like, you've always been pure. That's it. Like, you just always been pure. You still are pure. Now it's just the mind that's going through this healing process, because you are teaching yourself and you're also teaching others, and the people with you are teaching you even how to love yourself and how to just show up like that. Not to say you never loved yourself, but just to like embody it at a level in which you can be a leader to others, where you are fully aware of your authority and how to, I'm hearing, make your mark on people, but not like a negative impression, but like a mark where you inspire them to change, where you inspire more love in the collective consciousness of humanity, because you have wakened up to your own self-love and just loving who you are, like not trying to change for anybody but like the version of yourself that God made you to be on this planet, like to really step into that full embodiment, because I don't know, like I would think it was an easier thing to just be who you are meant to be, but at the same time it is so easy to do wrong. It's so easy to get led astray and to become somebody that you don't even recognize. So I guess that's where like free will is a huge factor in how we create in this life, and if we become who we are supposed to become or not, or if we have to come back and try again. I don't know. But either way, right now you're being guided to release burdens, release identities, release emotional patterns, behavioral patterns, just identities that are stuck in the past, are stuck in survival, are stuck somewhere where it's like you had to give up who you really were to even compromise to be whatever that situation needed you to be. Like that was never who you really were. Like you had to give up your true self to survive those life experiences. But now it's like this full moon is like, hey, I'm giving you a space to go reclaim those parts of yourself that you gave up out of survival, so that you can bring those parts of yourself back and you can do what you know that you came here to do, and you can love and be who you can be. Like whatever, like get those parts back. However you need to do that, whatever this healing process looks like for you, of going within and replenishing and restoring and healing those parts of yourself that you had to leave or let go of at one point to survive. Like lovingly embrace them back, okay? Because there's a new cycle here, and it's very positive, but it's very reliant on your heart. So this is about clearing out the heart, letting the heart have a new fresh cycle. And like for some of us, I said it's been like 10 years. Like trust me, my heart's been going through it. Like I don't want to sit here and spill all my tea, but I've been like breaking the tendency of feeling like I have to go through everything alone, or just be very like embarrassed by my emotional patterns, because I do understand what others don't about myself, and that is I have gone through certain trauma and certain experiences that I've learned to manage on my own. But like teaching other people like how to manage this with me, that's something new for me. Like I'm working on the communication part. Like, hey, like when I start opening up about my feelings, like I'm gonna get anxious if you don't respond to me, because then I'm gonna feel like you're doing the silent treatment like my crazy ex did, and and now I'm triggered and I'm mad and now I don't want to open up. And that's my problem, is I can shut down and I will not open up. But if I don't open up, then I'll just become a self-destructive person. And you'll just see a side of me that you're like, why is she being like this? Whole time is because I need to open up and I need to let some shit go. But if I don't feel like I can do that, then I'm aware of myself. But others are not aware of us and our patterns and how we deal with things, or what we are still dealing with. because life happens one day and then the next we're still expected to keep going. So we don't always have enough hours, enough time to ourselves to even process what the fuck happened at work a week ago, or what happened a month ago when we went to go, see about something, and then we ended up getting our car stolen. Like we don't even have time to process a lot of things that happen to us in life. So sometimes we may react and act differently at later times because a lot of it's accumulated and we just need that space to let things catch up with us. So this full moon is saying allow things to catch up with you, allow yourself to feel your feelings, allow yourself to like have the space and time to just soak up the experiences you've had and take from those experiences the knowledge and wisdom and insight about yourself that you can use moving forward to create better. Okay? 333, you are not alone, even when you feel like you're alone. And that it's okay to let people see you in your vulnerable states. Okay? Vulnerability is what creates connection. Okay? So for us isolators, people out there who like to just withdraw, you know, it's you this time you're not alone, or you have more people that you can reach out to or talk to, because you're not meant to do this part alone. There's a season for everything, and it looks like there's the season is bringing to end this season of loneliness and being in relationships where it's like these relationships were not growth oriented. These relationships were all about what can you do for me right now, how can you help me survive right now. And as we know, when we're in those trauma bonds, loyalty are very contingent on what can you do for me, what can you offer me, what can you provide for me. And it's a constant battlefield of like protecting your heart, you know, like getting out of situations unscathed because you're taking a gamble, you're taking a risk when you get into these relationships, not really having what you need, or those people showing you what they need, and just trying to like accommodate for that, but really settling for like crowded situations, because this looks like a lot of when people are operating out of survival, then it's like they always need more. So they don't recognize that you are abundant, that they're abundant, and that what you can create together it can overflow with in abundance. But so it's like they always need more. Oh wow, look, bottom of the deck is Ace of Cups. So it's like they don't see your value. Like we're used to situations where they didn't completely see your value or see how much of a wellspring of abundance and creativity and love and energy and wisdom and life experience you are on your own. They constantly wanted to bring in others or have more, or was always in search of the next best thing, or just how they can get things out of people. Like it's just things. They were superficial, and they were always going to be chasing waterfalls. Okay, because they don't see that what they have in front of them or what they have within them, let alone, is a lot, and is enough. So it's like if you're coming out of a cycle of like dealing with people like that, where it's like your worth was contingent on what you could bring to the table, what you could do, what you have, what connections you can make them, whatever, where it was a matter of like how to move them through life and help them survive. And it wasn't about how we can help each other thrive and heal and grow, you know, because as easy as it seems to like make people our footsteps, our stepping stones, whatever, to get to where we want to go and have what we want. Realistically, relationships are sent to us to help us focus on loving ourselves. Because I personally think when we're by ourselves and we have multiple people in our face all the time, always wanting to go on a date, always wanting us to stop what we're doing to start this and start that and start over, like I feel like that is so distracting and gets us all like all over the place, just feeling like we're missing and just creating a sense of lack in our life where it's like we're going on this date and that date because we're thinking we're missing something or we're lacking something or we just don't have enough in our life as we are or with what we have. Like we need more. And not to say every single person's like this. Like there's some people who genuinely enjoy being single, but just think about it. The cycle of just dating and constantly needing to have a situation. And when those situations constantly fail or they don't last that long, you start personalizing it. Okay. Sure, you better know it. And then it starts affecting how you see yourself in other positions of your life. Like it becomes a domino effect, starts to affect you everywhere. And so the purpose of a relationship, a stable one at least, is to come in and help you focus on loving yourself, to help you grow, to help you, focus less on, looking for love and being more in the presence of love. Okay. And because when you're in the presence of love, that's when you can heal. That's when you can recover. That's when you can build. That's when you can grow. You don't grow by looking for water. Water has to come to you, and it has to be there when you need it. Damn. Wow. That's a powerful realization for me personally because I am someone who's also just coming into experiencing a significant relationship, and sometimes God, like I'm gonna be real. I've tried to run, I've tried to hide, I've tried to withdraw, I've tried to isolate, I've tried to do everything that I've known to do to deal with my chaos by myself, even if that means sabotaging what makes me really happy. I have tried to do what I've known, and it don't work. Of course, it don't work. It's not supposed to work. I'm supposed to change. So I've been going through my own like changing process and just surrendering to a love that's present, not a love that I'm searching for, because there is a difference, and one does really help you focus on yourself and heal. Like I have done a lot of focusing on myself on my own, but let's be frank, that gets really hard, especially after 4 years. It's like, how much longer can I withstand all the temptation, all the offers, all the distractions, all, like I've been doing it for so long, but there's moments where I have weakness, where I want to give in and have companion. I want to have connection. I want these things. When I start thinking like, damn, I really am missing that connection, that friendship. So no matter how much we want to make ourselves believe we can survive alone, like we can't. And that is one of the biggest lessons under this full moon is some of you need to realize that you need to reach out to some of those people that you feel on your heart or mind. A lot of things can be recovered through forgiveness and just having these conversations, these really real conversations about this is where I messed up. This is where I made a mistake, or this is where I didn't hear you out. And this is what I'm willing to understand and hear out now. Because growing with you is more worthwhile than living apart and living separated and living like we don't deserve each other's friendship and love when we do. Um, so some of you guys just literally have to open up to love again, to repair situations that have been left on hold, or to move into a healthier cycle where you're protecting your heart from people who just want to use you for your resources and things, your generosity, your empathy, but people who actually want to give to you, not just use you to entertain themselves and take you, I don't know, just really childish. But anyways, I don't know, this message got deep. And this song, Drake got me draking right now. Goodness gracious. In feelings. What? Drake becoming that old granddad music where you can snap your finger. swinging. They're just swinging. Same shit. I just need me a little whiskey, with a little Coke. Oh my God, not Drake's music becoming that old granddad. Yeah, back in the day, I was just swinging. Girl, don't. Okay.
What are you talking about over there?
Look, like Drake, I was having a Drake moment where I'm doing this reading and it's a beautiful message, and Drake's song comes on and got me like snapping like I'm an old person. And I'm like, dang, he really got music where it's hitting like you're back in the day now. Like okay, anyway, let me get back to this reading. Okay, because this is crazy. Like, all right, Spirit. What else for this full moon psychic message? This is deep. I'm like, this full moon is definitely digging deep. Okay, we got a message for the feminines. So for masculine, okay, because that was Drake. Same city, same friends. If you're looking for me, I'll be here just swinging. Don't talk to me like I'm famous, and don't assume because I don't expect assumptions, babe. I'm just trying to connect with something, babe. Swinging. Okay, he's talking about he wants connection. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so masculines are saying, yeah, even them. Most of the masculines out here, they're tired of being hurt. They want to just make a connection. Like, they're trying to show you through their actions and things that they're there for more than that. But some of y'all just, he says in this song, she just want to run around the city and make memories that she can barely remember, and I'd allow her. Talk about pussy power. She just want to run over my feelings like she drinking and driving in an 18-wheeler, and I'd allow her. And she used to say, you can be whoever you want and believe in yourself. Yeah, I show up knowing exactly who I was and never leave as myself. Because you will learn to love people and use things, and not the other way around. Okay, so yeah, he was definitely in his feelings in this song. Ugh. But anyways, he wants to make a connection. He's trying to show through his actions that he rather learn to love you the right way than to, be lost and not have you, than to just know how to use you, know how to be there. Like, so that's okay. So masculine, and now Sis is talking about she could be your supermodel. So I'm just gathering from this that when it comes to our relationships, our inner child has to be largely considered here when it's like what helps them come up and what breaks them down. Because only we know personally the things that we've experienced that has made us shrink and withdraw into ourselves, and what's helped bring us out of our shell and make us feel more confident in pursuing our truth and living out our truth. And now, with the ball being in our court, we have to make decisions on the right people to help shape our inner child, to help bring our inner child's dreams to life. You are in full control. Let's not forget, you're in full control, but what you bring around your inner child, think of it as an actual child of yours. Who you bring around your children are who you are saying, it's okay if my child learns from this individual and becomes like this. So that's the same type of energy spirits like you need to have about yourself and your goals and your plans, what you want out of life. Because if you bring around the wrong people, man, spirit is on point. Because I was just watching the TikTok But basically, this woman like was about to lose her whole relationship because she had a friend who did not respect her relationship and the boundaries that her relationship has set. And as a result, this obviously created a separation between her and her lover. And he made an ultimatum like, choose your friend or choose me. And that seems really fucked up. But in essence, that is how protective you have to be over who you are becoming. Do you want to become the version of yourself that this friend here is molding you to become? A party girl who goes out and hangs out with guys to be entertained by drinks? Or are you trying to become a wife to a man who can give you better lifestyle than that, love? Okay. Who can take you out the bar and put a bar in your house? Okay. So, like that is an analogy or example of just what we allow around us and who we're becoming, our visions, our plans, our goals is really important. And it's going to start with the standard that we set for ourselves. Like, this is what we allow. This is what we want out of life. This is who can help us get there. This is what I will tolerate and what I will not tolerate. This is what I know is going to help me stay consistent with my goals and pursuits, and everything else is a distraction, and everything else that distracts me gotta go, or it's blocked, or it's just not even allowed. Yeah, Spirit's saying it's time to boss up, like, because all these burdens or this sense of just having burdens on you when you should be feeling like abundant instead is because you're trying to take a lot with you that don't belong with you. Ooh, you're trying to take a lot with you that don't belong with you. Whether this is physical, emotional, or spiritual. Even physical. You could be hoarding items and objects and memories and things that are attached to situations of the past. That's literally, ooh, call me out, taking up space. It's time to clean out the storage rooms. It's time to clear out the utility spaces and get rid of the old, because that's what's like keeping this abundance, this feeling of being fulfilled at a distance. There's still a harboring here of past energy. So yeah, that's calling me out. Like, I do need to go through some emails and delete. I do need to go print some pictures and make a little photo book and get rid of stuff off my drives. Like, yeah, I do need to start that spring cleaning early. Seriously, like, start now. Because we are in a new season, but we need to be proactive. Wow. Because there's a love opportunity here, a divine alignment, a divine connection, aligning with soul tribe, soul family, aligning with your purpose, moving forward. Once you let go of this baggage, once you clear up this space, wow, now you have connections that are going to be a reciprocal love, giving to you as you give to them, equally pouring into each other's cups. You see the cups pouring into each other, both having an overflow of love, of generosity, of offerings. Six of Pentacles, equal give and take. People who are wanting to give to you. The scales are here twice, or just the balanced, coming into a balanced heart space, a space where it's like giving and receiving is your divine law. Not receiving and holding on and can't receive nothing else. Not giving and having nothing left to give, but a balanced relationship with self and balancing that relationship out with everything and everyone around you. So this is where you're going once you clear out that baggage. And I mean, do this in every way you can think of: emails, pictures, text messages, clothes, wherever you are hoarding stuff, that is energy. And we have to be willing, when it comes to these release rituals, we have to literally be physically willing to release and let go of some shit. Because, yeah, what can I say? Like, it's energy. Like, It's still there, whether you see it or not. It's time to heal. It's time to welcome in this healing, because that is what this universe in time is offering all of us, a chance to really recover and heal from the past by sweeping it all out, leaving behind this disappointment, healing, finally being able to put things to rest, not having to carry so much on our own anymore or at all. Like, you can take it off. And meditate. Just let these, because that's what it's saying too, to meditate, to let your mind just come back into the present moment, to not even recall and replay and relive out those situations again and again mentally. It's just time to just come to the present, enjoy the peace, the serenity, the change that's in the air, where this is no longer going to be your reality. As long as this here, the heart, is honored, which means let the things go. Literally cleanse your spaces. I gotta go, because now I'm like, I need to go clean up, and I need to go delete things off my hard drives. I need to like literally let things go. And I've been feeling that way for weeks, and Spirit is now saying like it's more than just mentally forgetting things. It's literally letting go of physical things. Like, oh my God. Because it's like the versions of ourselves that we once saved those memories in, or those things we created at that moment in time that we don't no longer use or have anything to do with. Like, those things are just taking up space. So yeah, that was a really profound message. I feel like I learned a lot from this reading, and I really hope whoever takes this time to watch it from the beginning to the end, or at any point you find a message or a lesson or a piece of insight in here that benefits you. I love you so much, and I just thank you for tuning in and tapping in with me. I do feel inspired to pull one more card, but this is going to be an oracle, love, Rumi oracle message. Because this is about a lot of love coming in, and it's like love is just trying to help us like stay in the energy of growth. Um, you know, to just look forward to what's to come, because I promise you, it's so much sweeter than what's left. You know, so damn, I'm like really sitting with that. Like, why does it feel hard to delete like stuff from the past? Like, where did we learn that we should hang on to every picture, every item, everything that we experience? Because now I really have to go through pictures and like literally like I'm gonna make albums for my daughter, but like I really am like I'm pissed. I'm like, why do I have stuff from that time in my life? Like, really, now that I think about it, like, why do I have anything other than like what really matters? You know, like, obviously I want to keep certain things that show like this was who I was at this point of time, but like, do I want all these text messages in my phone? Do I want all these emails? Do I want to hold on like the past is going to come back and try to like do something? Because I think that's the only reason I could think about like why I still have like emails, because it's like if somebody ever try to pull up on me with some, I have receipts. But it's like, but who wants to live with that feeling of the past is going to try to come back for me? Like, I want to be free from that sensation. I don't know. That's my tangent. Because I'm like, that's why I'm like, I'm going to take that advice seriously and just really like delete stuff and see what that does for me. Because there are things that I'm just like, my phone's been complaining about storage for like all year. I mean, it's only been a few weeks, but it's been complaining since the new year that my storage is full. And I'm like, there's literally no room for anything new. So I'm like, what is it full of? It's full of shit that I did 3, 4, 5 years ago. So I don't even have room for new memories. Damn, this is hitting me hard, guys. I'm like, this is why my storage is full. Because I got a bunch of shit from my past on there. That it's like, you need to let this shit go. This energy. All right, well, I'm about to go get on everybody's head about this now. Okay, I'm done shuffling. I just want one message. It just keeps giving me too many. Just one card. I don't like that. 4 or 5 keep flipping over at once. One, just one. Still 2. Spirit 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay. One card. Sacred Phoenix Heart. Reason says there is no way out. Love says there is a way, and I have traveled it many times. Perhaps you are scratching your head quizzically, or are in the deepest despair because you have met a dead end, a frowning no, or a dismissive laugh on your quest. Love guides us through travails that seem improbable, if not impossible. It does not shy away from any challenge or any cause. Love says there is always another way. Okay, that confirms the message. Thank you guys. And water her.